It's another glorious day to save money on our wedding budget. Here are 5 ways that you can instantly save on your photographer for your special day. And yes, these can kind of be applied to videographers as well. So maybe we're saving twice the amount of money. Let's get into it. Hello everyone, my name is Grace and I'm the founder and owner of Budget Wedding Stories, where we help couples like you have incredible memories for affordable prices. Now, photography and videography are one of the biggest expenses for a wedding day. And it's no wonder, there is a lot of gear that goes into establishing a proper photography or videography brand. For example, we probably set around the $50,000 just for a proper established videographer, just in gear alone, keeping in mind that you don't just buy it and it doesn't just last. It's constantly breaking. There are extra batteries that you need to buy. There are things that are getting old and cracked and need to be replaced and depreciating in value. So you are constantly upkeeping this massive studio, in a sense, if you want to be actually properly established. If you're not just turning up on the day with a single cam and one of the DJI Osmo 360 cameras, for proper videographers and photographers, life gets very expensive. So here are 5 ways that you can still get a proper professional experience potentially without compromising your budget. Number 1, get a smaller package. Now, not all photographers will offer this, and many of them won't offer this openly on their website. But a lot of photographers, if you're like, hey, I really love your style, your this wedding here really captured my attention, I love the way you've done this, smoothie them up a little bit. And then you go, but our budget is limited to this. And to be honest, I think a lot of photographers would actually just really appreciate a firm number to work with. What can you do within that range? Be open to the fact that you may not get 8 hours coverage or even 6 hours coverage, but you might be able to negotiate 4 or 5 hours instead. So that's something worth considering. Even a per hour package. For a while, we offered a per hour package, pretty much. This is how long we're here for. All right, these are your hours you've got. We've now rolled it into the mini package, which is a little bit less thinking for people. But photographers may offer per hour packages, and that might be a little bit better for your budget. Number 2, associate shooters. So if you don't know, in the photography industry, a lot of photographers run on name brands. So pretty much Cassandra O'Hare Photography. I don't know who Cassandra O'Hare is. That name just came to my mind. Or Bert Van Weiling. It's going to be really awkward if I've just named really famous people. Photography or studios or A lot of these people run on name brands. And as a result, the whole draw of it is that you will get me on your day. You will get my style, my vibes, my color grading, I do everything. They don't really do everything, but that's a big secret for later. But there are times when, especially if it's an established photographer, they're running late, they get sick, they go on maternity leave, as a lot of women often do. And they need to bring in what is called an associate, pretty much someone who is also quite experienced, maybe not as experienced as them, but has a similar style and vibe to them, but is a little bit more affordable. And so if you look around, you might be able to see it. Certain photographers offer associate packages. So pretty much it's still being run by the main photographer, but and the style expectations and stuff like that is this, but it's not the person themselves. And as a result, you may get a bit of a discount, sometimes over $1,000, depending on how big the package originally was. So that's another way to easily save. Just have a little smoothie around. Hey, we really love your style, but we just can't afford you. Do you have an associate photographer that you recommend, or who would be able to shoot for you on the day? It's not going to work with everyone, and a lot of photographers are still in the middle zone where they're working up towards that. So just be aware of that fact that they may be like, what are you on about? That's probably indicative of their experience in the industry as well. Now that think about that and say that. So worth keeping an eye out for that. Number 3, and I am a social media marketer on the side, so I know that if you have changed your relationship status to engaged, you will be getting spammed right now with hundreds and hundreds of different wedding photography, videography, venue ads. A lot of these photographers are often running deals. Now, that's a great way to get a little bit more for your package. Not to smack down these people, but if you're constantly always running deals for your wedding day, like $1,000 off or like $2,000 off, how much are you overcharging is always the question at the back of my mind. But that may be a way, if you are looking for someone who's that middle to higher tier, they might be offering a deal that you might be able to jump on. Of course, your best times are right around the late Christmas, I would say, because bookings really slow down for photographers right around Christmas. Black Friday, Valentine's Day, and end of year. I would say those are the best times to keep an eye out, especially if you've got a long planning season. Keep an eye out if particular photographers are running deals for your day or around that time. You might be eligible to get a little bit extra for your package or some off. Number 4, ask for a pay per image package. Now, this is something that once again, not all photographers will offer, especially those who are kind of newer to middle tier in the industry and haven't been fully established. But but this is something that we do offer, and it's a way that we make packages a lot more affordable for people. Pretty much, you get a certain amount of images, and that pretty much covers your day. Like, it covers what you would want for social media, a new profile picture, the most essential moments and stuff like that. And if you want everything else, you can upgrade to that later on. So that allows it to be accessible for people at the start. And, give them, in a sense, everything they want, but also gives them the opportunity if they want extra later on. So potentially asking for a pay per image package, it's not super common in the wedding industry. Most photographers will just give you all of the photos, but it is very popular for photographers who have a studio or like a modeling or like family and lifestyle maternity sessions kind of background, especially like newborn photographers and stuff like that. And these people are really great at posing. They may not be as skilled at like the chaos of wedding events and navigating like all the conundrums and issues and like planning on the fly, but they are really fantastic at posing. So that's something to keep an eye out with when you're searching for your photographer. Also be aware of their other experience outside of weddings, because it might lend certain skills to your day, and it might lend certain weaknesses to your day as well. Ultimately, number 5, ask for a custom package. I don't want an album. I don't want second shooters. I don't want this. I don't want that. I don't want this. I literally want someone to turn up on my day, take photos for X amount of hours, and deliver photos to me. Now, if you're someone like that, I would love to chat, because that's totally our vibe. But it might be worth opening a conversation with your photographer about having a very, very slimmed down package. A lot of photographers actually offer stuff like engagement shoots and things like that. Out of a way to get to know you better, these are the ones that really invest in the individual one-on-one experience. So they may not be as keen to remove that component from your day, even though it would save you sometimes easily $500, sometimes more. So just be aware of that fact. But yeah, it might be honestly worth pursuing. Always open it with, hey, we love your work. Maybe give it an example or two, but we're just really restricted by this budget. Is there anything that you can do to work with? Or do you have just a super bare bones package for our day? Make sure you have all your details clearly defined, like your timeline, how many hours you want them there for, how many hours, what things can you potentially drop within that time. Remember that almost every photographer in the industry, and I would be cautious of the ones that don't work like this, every photographer in the industry works with continuous packages, aka they don't stop and start. So for example, I don't do 2 hours of coverage over here, an hour of coverage in the afternoon, and then 4 hours of coverage in the evening. No, it's the full continuous package. I would always be cautious of someone who offers the stop and start, and I'm like, why are you sus? Yeah, it's just an industry standard that if I can't be on another wedding day, you're getting charged for it. That's the photographer mentality. And so as nice as it would be to have stopping and starting packages, then just not really offered in the industry, unfortunately. Now, there's always other additional things that you can do. You can search out student photographers. You can search out people who are trying to build their portfolio. You can search out associate shootings and DIYing that. There are lots of other options as well to save on your photography. I would always be careful, be cautious, do your due diligence, make sure you have a contract running, make sure you have clear expectations, make sure that they don't shoot in JPEG and that they definitely shoot in RAW, so that even if something goes horrifically wrong, you might be able to recover some of the data from the photos with a professional editor. There's lots of things that you can do. Have I missed anything? I would love to hear your wisdom down below. Help some other brides save on their day, and I'll see you in the next video.